BioShock Infinite was one of two games that I can remember that I didn't particularly like at first, but I actually ended up loving later. The other game was Fallout 4. Weirdly enough, it took me until my second playthrough to actually like BioShock Infinite. I want to discuss the space game's story and how mind-boggling and awesome it really was. I'll leave the Burial at Sea DLC for a different video. This was a long game, and after beating it, I was left so confused that it took me an hour just to think about everything that happened. And even then, I still don't think I have a 100% grasp on it, but I'll do my best. Listen, I know BioShock 1 and Minerva's Den had some amazing plot twists, but Infinite blew both of those out of the water, pun intended. This might be a long one. So starting off, you're met with a black screen where a woman asks a man named Booker,
"Are you afraid of God?"
He says,
"No, but I'm afraid of you."
Then a quote appears. The mind of the subject will desperately struggle to create memories where none exist. Barriers to transdimensional travel. That right there should have been my first hint on what kind of story this game would tell, but just like the first BioShock's intro quote, I just shrugged it off and kept going. The year is 1912. You're a private investigator named Booker DeWitt. You start off on a small rowboat off the coast of Maine with two strangers that you can't really see. They talk like they're kind of finishing each other's sentences and it's almost in sync, but it's slightly off.
Then what?
The entire thought experiment.
Excuse me. How much longer?
One goes into an experiment knowing one could fail.
One does not undertake an experiment knowing one has failed.
Can we get back to the rowing?
The woman hands Booker a briefcase with a few contents inside. A key, a gun, a photograph of a girl named Elizabeth, and on the back of the photo it says, "Bring to New York unharmed." So that's his mission, bring this girl to New York, no questions asked. You reach a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean, which is apparently your destination. When you knock on the door, there's a note that says, "DeWitt, bring us the girl and wipe away the debt. This is your last chance." And that sets everything in motion. Booker owes someone, badly.
Good luck with that, pal.
Inside the lighthouse, things get creepy fast. There's a dead man slumped in a chair with a sign that says, "Don't disappoint us." Whoever Booker's dealing with means business. At the top, there are 3 bells that match the symbols on the note that you got in the briefcase. You ring them, and the lighthouse weirdly lights up, and suddenly a chair pops up for you to sit in. So you go sit in it, and the next thing you know, you're being launched into the sky.
Make yourself ready, Pilgrim. The bindings are there as a safeguard.
No, God damn it!
Ascension. Ascension in the count of 5. Count of 4.
No.
3, 2, 1.
No!
Ascension. Ascension.
Just stay calm.
5,000 feet. 10,000 feet. 15,000 feet. Hallelujah.
When the clouds clear, you see it, the floating city of Columbia, and you will also see the statue that you saw on the postcard that was found inside of the briefcase. While it's crazy that you were launched to a floating city, at least you're on the right track. You land in a church-like structure covered in religious imagery, all dedicated to the Prophet, whose name gets revealed as Zachary Comstock pretty shortly into the game, and his wife, Lady Comstock. There's even stained glass showing their child with labels like the Lamb, the future of our city. You learn that the only way into the city is through baptism. Booker reluctantly agrees, but the preacher ends up holding him underwater for just a little bit too long, and you end up drowning.
Our founders and our Lord.
I just need passage into the city.
Passage to the city. Brother, the only way to Columbia is through rebirth in the sweet waters of baptism. Will you be cleansed, brother?
It's either this or two. Hey.
I baptize you in the name of our prophet, in the name of our founders, and the name of our Lord. I don't know, brothers and sisters, but this one doesn't look clean to me.
Then suddenly you wake up somewhere else, surrounded by 3 big, burly men looking down at you like they want a piece. Thank God they're just statues, because who knows what would have happened if they weren't. Ugh. Anyways, as you explore Columbia, it's bright, peaceful, and almost too perfect. Everyone's smiling, it's sunny with amazing weather, there's kids playing and singing, it's just too good to be true. It kinda makes you want to live there. Here's the catch. Religion and patriotism are basically the law there, and as you can tell by the statues at the very beginning, Columbia really looks up to George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson. Soon, a kid hands you a telegram. It's from someone named Lutess, and it's an ominous warning.
Telegram for you, sir.
DeWitt, stop. Do not alert Comstock to your presence. Stop. Whatever you do, do not pick number 77. Stop. Lutess.
Don't pick number 77. You don't know what that means yet, but it sticks in your head. You continue exploring the city and reach a festival showcasing Columbia's tech and vigors, basically their version of plasmids.
Who amongst you has tasted the divine gift of the vigor? One swig, and feats of wonderment are at the tips of your fingers.
Hear your voice from the past in the present. Say something, Sonny.
What's a voxophone? What's a voxophone?
Exactly that. A personal record of voice.
Hey, just so we're clear, I'm not paying for this.
Just a demonstration, sir.
You try one out and, phew, thank goodness you don't have to inject yourself with another plasmid needle. Again.
Ears.
While entering the gate to get to the raffle, due to that giant statue being your objective location, you're stopped by 2 very familiar voices, the man and the woman from the boat. They ask you to call heads or tails.
Heads.
Or tails.
Come on, let me through. Heads.
Or tails.
Heads.
Told you. I never find that as satisfying as I'd imagined.
Chin up. There's always next time.
I suppose there is.
And behind the man is the chalkboard showing a total of 122 head marks and 0 tail marks. Every single person before you flipped heads. You don't know it yet, but that's the first real clue that something deeper is going on. But you just don't know it yet. While nearing the raffle, you see a poster that says, "You shall know the false shepherd by his mark," with an abbreviation of AD on his hand. Booker all of a sudden has an AD on his hand as well, which he didn't have before. You're starting to see a pattern here. The city is extremely weird, but there is no turning back now. While getting very much closer to the giant statue, you pass by the raffle, but a lady calls you over to pick a baseball for the raffle, and what do? You go pick up a baseball, and what do you know, it's number 77.
Mister!
Sorry, no sale.
Silly? There's never a charge for the raffle. You've been sleeping under a rock?
77.
77. That's a lucky number. I'll be rooting for you.
It seems like Lutess just knew that it'd be the number that you'd pick. At this point, things just don't seem like coincidences. There has to be a deeper mystery as to what's going on. Your prize for picking out that number turns out to be the chance to throw a baseball at an interracial couple as a public spectacle. And we'll talk about that in a second.
77, come and claim your prize! First throw!
It was me! It was all me! Please! Please! Please, what are you doing?
Come on! Are you gonna throw it? Or are you taking your coffee black these days?
You can choose to throw it at the announcer or the interracial couple, but no matter the choice, before you act, an officer grabs your hand and sees the letter AD branded onto it. Suddenly, the crowd gasps. You're labeled as the false shepherd, the man destined to lead the lamb astray, and just like that, the game just explodes into chaos. Just as a very short intro to the enemies you fight, the officers are known as the Founders, who are promotive of ultranationalism, religious zealotry, militarism, and white supremacy, pretty much explaining the Raffle's prize. While fighting your way to advance to the giant statue, which is on a piece of land called Monument Island, the Founders control the accessibility of it and move it further away from you to prevent you from getting to the Lamb. At this point, you know the Lamb is the girl that you need to wipe away the debt, also known as Elizabeth. You'll encounter some interesting enemies such as the Firemen and a faction that I found really interesting, the Fraternal Order of the Raven. Pretty much allies of the Founders, the Fraternal Order of the Raven are pretty much the Ku Klux Klan of Colombia, as you could tell by their promotion of John Wilkes Booth, the guy who assassinated Abraham Lincoln, and their robe outfits. That right there says everything about Colombia's so-called progress. The city worships their idea of perfection but destroys anyone who doesn't fit its ideal. That group is one of the earliest examples of how extreme Comstock's followers are. They see him as a divine prophet sent to preserve purity and rid America of sin. Booker of course doesn't buy any of it. While on the way, Comstock decides to speak to Booker by PA and pretty much drops it onto him that he knows why he's in Colombia and mentions someone named Anna to Booker. We don't know who that is yet, but it could be an important name. Comstock then drops this line, which is major foreshadowing that the first time playthrough people could easily overlook, and it makes you wonder, is Comstock really a prophet or does he just somehow know things?
What brought you to Columbia, Booker? Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt? This will end in blood. Then again, it always does with you, doesn't it? It always ends in blood.
After fighting your way to Monument Island, where hopefully Elizabeth is, you find a highly secure and restricted facility that's built into the statue. There are rules that take place there, such as quarantining before leaving, staying quiet, and securing all doors. There's also a machine or device called the Siphon, which I'm not going to go into any detail about it because you'll understand it later when I do mention it. Anyways, why would there be a need for all of these highly restrictive rules just for a specimen, which is of course Elizabeth? Well, it turns out that at the top of the tower there's rooms for observing Elizabeth, so she's been watched by people her whole entire life and she doesn't even know it.
Whoa!
Got nothing to do with the job at hand.
She's never actually seen another human before. Her reality was that tower and the books that she read there. And to answer why there's such restricting rules for her, it's because, from what you witness, she has the power to open tears into the world that open places that appear to be other realities. So that makes sense. Either way, you need to bring her to New York and wipe away your debts. When you drop into the main room, you get to meet Elizabeth in person, which is just fine until you figure out that she's not the only thing you're meeting.
Hello. Hey! Knock it off! Stop it! Will you stop it? Not here to hurt you.
Who are you?
My name is DeWitt. I'm a friend. I come to get you out of here.
Get away! Are you real?
I'm real enough.
He's coming. You've gotta go.
Why?
You don't want to be here when he gets here. Just a minute, I'm getting dressed.
I'll get you out of here.
There's no way out. Trust me, I've looked. Stop it, you're too impatient. That's enough.
What about this?
What about it?
This is the way out, isn't it?
What are you... Give it to me.
You get to meet the Songbird, her giant mechanical guardian, and it's part protector, part captor, built to make sure that she never escapes. And let me just say, Songbird's look, sounds, fearlessness, dedication, and strength was done so damn well that it's easily one of the most memorable parts of BioShock Infinite. It's simply a terrifying enemy, and I don't think the game would be what it is without it. From the first interaction, you could tell Elizabeth has this complicated fear and love for it. Pretty much like a child terrified of their parent, but they're too loyal to fight back. Is that a good example? Due to Songbird's objective of making sure Elizabeth doesn't escape at all costs, it destroys the whole statue while trying to stop you and her. Just your luck, when you fall, you happen to land in a man-made ocean, in which you lose Songbird that way. Elizabeth ends up being your traveling companion throughout the game and has the ability to pull ammo and objects out of other realities to help you out. Throughout the journey, you start hearing and learning things about Booker's past. You learn that Booker was a war veteran who fought at Wounded Knee, which, if you don't know, is one of the bloodiest massacres in American history. Booker later became a Pinkerton agent doing dirty work and collecting debts, before drowning himself in alcohol and gambling. Pretty much the very addictions that led to his mysterious debt that he has. And the mystery still remains. Who does Booker owe the debt to, and why did they want Elizabeth? This game has some really cool dialogues between Elizabeth and Booker when it comes to parts where you have to wait for something, like an elevator or a tram.
Nothing I can't fix.
Oh, it's a bee. I hate these things.
Jeez, just kill it.
No, it'll sting me.
Elizabeth!
I have a better idea.
Wait, what are you doing?
Opening a tear.
Oh, shit! What is that?
It's a tear. I used to open them all the time in my tower.
What is a tear?
It's like a window. A window to another world. Most of the time they're dull as dishwater, a different colored towel or tea instead of coffee. But sometimes I see something amazing and I pull it through. There.
Good God. I don't suppose you've got an airship in there?
I don't think so. But there is. There is something. Oh no!
Close it.
I'm trying!
Close it! I don't really understand what I just saw back there, but it sure as hell looks like a shortcut to getting us killed.
Elizabeth is so fascinated by the real world and asks Booker questions in an attempt to get to know him. The only thing is, Booker is mostly closed off and doesn't really like talking about himself.
When you were unconscious on the beach, you kept repeating a woman's name. Anna.
I don't want to talk about that.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pried. Where are you from, Mr. DeWitt?
New York.
What did you do there?
Business much like this. Something that really caters writing on a resume.
It was a fine thing you came along when you did.
How do you think I ended up here? I gambled, and now I owe money to men you don't want to be in debt to. I come here to pay it back. Me busting you out, what do you think that was? Charity?
Who sent you?
Somebody who was willing to take my marker in exchange for you.
Anyways, you got Elizabeth, so Booker's only objective now is to escape Columbia and settle those debts once and for all. The plan is to steal an airship called the First Lady and use that to get to New York. But in order to gain compliance from Elizabeth and make sure nothing bad really happens, Booker just lies to her saying that the airship is going to Paris, which he uses Paris as an example because he knows Elizabeth always dreamed of going there.
Hey, Miss Elizabeth.
Hello! Oh, this is wonderful! Oh, come dance with me, Mr. DeWitt.
I don't dance. Come on, let's go.
Why? What could be better than this?
How about Paris?
Paris? I don't understand. How could we get there?
That's where that airship's going, but if you want to stay and dance, we can...
No, let's go! Come on, let's go! Come on, let's go right now!
While trying to get to the airship, the game wastes no time and digs in a bit more about Booker's history fighting for the US military, because a man named Cornelius Slate, who's a guy you need to get a vigor from to proceed in the story, he recognizes Booker.
Our prophet, Father Comstock, commander of the 7th Cavalry.
That man did not lead the 7th. Hell, I don't even remember the guy.
Corporal DeWitt proved his worth on the field that day.
Well, I'll be. Slate? Is that you?
You've always been different, haven't you, Booker? You crave no glory,
Look, I see you're caught up in some kind of jam here. If you could see fit to let us through to where they keep this shock jockey, and we'll...
That tin soldier, Comstock, once my boy's dead. We won't die at his hands.
There's going to be trouble.
All my men have left is a choice. Die at the hands of a tin soldier, or a real one!
Cornelius was also in the US military and fought alongside Booker before moving to Colombia. He was pretty much a mirror of who Booker used to be, a brutal soldier that did horrendous things at Wounded Knee and showed no mercy to his enemies. Cornelius led a group of Comstock soldiers that went rogue. He and his men absolutely despised Comstock because Comstock rewrote the history of Wounded Knee and the Boxer Rebellion, saying that he led the wars and that it was a righteous victory, painting himself as a hero. He and his men knew that it wasn't true and they couldn't stand to see such traumatic events get glorified and lied about by Comstock. Anyways, I thought it'd be cool to add that bit of lore to this video, just to kind of show you that Cornelius, Slate, and his men weren't just a bunch of random people. They actually had a purpose for fighting Booker, and it shows that the developers actually put some depth into these guys even though you've only dealt with them for one level. When you make it to the First Lady airship, Booker sets the coordinates to New York for the airship to travel to, and because Elizabeth had nothing but time in that tower, she realizes that the ship isn't going to Paris like Booker said it was.
See everything.
It's up to you now. There's no one...
Wait, what is that? 40 north by 74 west. That's not Paris, that's New York.
How did you know that?
One thing I had in that tower was time, Mr. DeWitt. Time to study things like geography.
I owed money. And there's a fellow who... He offered to wipe away my debt in exchange for you. Come on.
That's where the trust between the two characters is broken. Elizabeth, being upset, remembers that the wrench in BioShock is overpowered, so she knocks Booker out with it so she could dock the airship and get away from him. Booker wakes up in the airship and he sees a bunch of random people in the airship with him. This is an introduction to a faction called the Vox Populi. The Vox Populi are an insurgency group in a civil war against the founders. The best way to put it is that it's pretty much the American Revolution but for Colombia. While Vox Populi had a good message for ending the mistreatment of people, you soon find out that they're not what they seem to be. You meet the leader of the Vox Populi, Daisy Fitzroy, in the airship. One thing that I do want to mention when it comes to talking about Comstock rewriting history is that Comstock framed Daisy, saying that she killed Lady Comstock, which you later find out isn't true. What you learn from Daisy immediately is that, similar to real life politics these days, it's a if you're not with me, you're an enemy type of thing. Daisy tells you that she's not going to return the airship to you until you do something for her, and that is arming the Vox Populi to help start a rebellion. Because Booker doesn't really have any other solutions, he decides to help them, and this is where the story really starts to get a bit crazier. While trying to track down a gunsmith named Chen Lin, who could help, you later find out that he was captured, tortured, and killed by the founders due to their fear of an uprising from the Vox Populi. The Lutesses appear out of nowhere and start debating about something that sounds random, but is actually kind of philosophical and gives the answer on what the next course of action Booker and Elizabeth should take, since the death of Chen Lin led to a complete dead end.
Elizabeth, dead, is dead.
What? How the hell did...
I see heads.
And I see tails.
It's all a matter of perspective.
Why are you following us? Who sent you? Comstock? What do you want?
What do you see here, from this angle?
Dead.
Listen.
And that angle?
Alive.
Booker. Chen Lin.
The body's gone.
It was never here.
It's another Columbia.
A different Columbia.
The same coin.
A different perspective.
Heads.
Tails.
Dead.
Alive.
We have to go through to this other Columbia, but how?
It's like riding a bicycle.
One never really forgets.
One just needs the courage to climb aboard.
Pretty much, the Lutesses are inviting Booker and Elizabeth to jump through a tear and enter a new reality. The whole thing is that once you enter through a tear, you will never be able to return back to that same reality. With that really being the only choice, Booker and Elizabeth enter a new reality. A reality where Chen is alive, but here's where Elizabeth drops the bomb about the whole nosebleed thing.
These men.
I killed them. They were dead.
I'm disgusted.
In this world.
Disgusting! Sick! Sick!
They're all bleeding.
What was wrong with them?
They remembered.
Remembered what?
Being dead.
That moment right there is where you realize that whenever Booker's nose bleeds, it's because he remembers something from a different reality, but the current reality he's in is creating new memories. So pretty much Booker's nosebleeds start in Colombia, meaning he's been in Colombia in another reality. The big question is, what are those memories that he's replacing with new ones? Anyways, you find Chen alive, but he's pretty traumatized and disoriented because he remembers dying in a different reality. You find the Vox Populi weapons locked inside of a building, but due to how many weapons there are and how hard it would be to transport the weapons, Booker and Elizabeth go to another new reality where the weapons are most likely in Chen's shop or already in the hands of the Vox Populi, meaning that you could just get the airship back. Okay, so Booker travels into a new reality with Elizabeth, and you could see that the rebellion has already started. While walking through the city, you notice something very strange. You see posters scattered around saying that Booker is a martyr for the Vox Populi. Of course, Booker's nose bleeds again because he now has memories that he died and that different events have happened.
You Booker DeWitt! The hero of the Vox!
What the hell are they talking about?
Look at that poster. In this world, you're a hero.
I remember I led the Vox. Slate and I burned down the Hall of Heroes.
Booker. Your nose.
Hard to think. Two memories in the same
Booker,
place.
come back to me. We're going to find Daisy Fitzroy.
And we're getting out of here on the First Lady. Let's go.
But in that reality, you're pretty much dead. But I'm sure you could see the issue that kind of arises from this. The Vox Populi already started the rebellion mostly because you died. So they have that as the reason for doing so. When you're alive, you're not a martyr anymore, so that pretty much destroyed the movement's narrative that pushed them to that point. When Daisy figured out that Booker was alive, she started believing that Booker was a traitor to the Vox Populi, turning them against you and trying to kill you.
Hello? Think?
I saw you die, Booker. Saw it with my own eyes.
Fitzroy. Listen, I got you your guns. I'm here for my airship.
But my Booker DeWitt died for the Vox Populi. You either an imposter or a ghost. My Booker DeWitt was a hero to the cause, a story to tell your children. You just complicate the narrative.
At least in that case, you're technically still a martyr, and the narrative is less complicated for the Vox Populi. Either way, the objective is to get the airship back, and you're not going to get it back until you kill Daisy. Remember how I mentioned that the Vox Populi is not what they seem to be? You learn that the Vox Populi were no better than the people that they were against. The founders and the Vox Populi both try to justify murder, torture, and propaganda in the name of freedom. Either way, the Vox Populi were too twisted in anger that they forgot what they were supposed to be. After making it to Daisy, she holds a kid hostage and threatens to kill him if you get close to her. This was a huge turning point for Elizabeth in the game. While Elizabeth had so much innocence throughout the game, reality sets in for her after she kills Daisy with a pair of scissors in order to save a child.
Is this it? Is this your movement, Daisy?
This is what needs to be done. You see, the founders ain't nothing but weeds. Cut them down and they just grow back. If you want to get rid of the weed, you gotta pull it up from the root. It's the only way to
Elizabeth.
I guess it runs in the family.
Elizabeth. Whoa, hey, easy.
Once you take control of the First Lady airship, Elizabeth changes her looks. I could be wrong, but I believe the change in her look symbolizes her maturity and loss of innocence. Instead of finally being able to get to New York, Songbird finds you and takes the airship down, leaving you stranded on another part of Columbia where the Vox Populi are the ones in control.
New York or Paris?
No, 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 no!
Shit. Come on, we gotta find a way to make this thing go faster.
There's gotta be some sort of throttle or accelerator.
Do you know what that looks like?
I don't know.
Help me find it! Elizabeth!
After crashing, you're now on what I would argue is the most confusing level in the whole game. I shit you not, just having to think about this level is what made me take so long to make this video, especially when it comes to me having to write a script for it. What? Did you think I would just raw dog my commentary and say filler words like 68 times throughout the video? Anyways, since I'm kinda slow, this took me days just to understand that it's pretty easy to overthink this level as it really isn't that deep. Booker and Elizabeth are trying to get inside the Comstock house, but the gate's locked by a lock that requires an official's handprint. Well, Zachary Comstock is nowhere near, but you know who is? Lady Comstock. So Booker and Elizabeth head over to Lady Comstock's tomb. Trust me, I'm not crazy when I explain this, but I'll just tell you how it is. Remember the device I briefly mentioned in this video earlier? Comstock used the siphon installed inside of the tomb to bring Lady Comstock's spirit back to life using Elizabeth's powers. Lady Comstock becomes a siren and attacks Booker and Elizabeth.
What I do for love. What liars does not cringe to see their common pain, but spare the rod, spoil the child. If you won't listen to me, perhaps you will listen to your mother.
Elizabeth, are you alright?
Where did she go?
Hold on, you need to rest for a minute.
No, I'm getting that hand.
Elizabeth, why is your mother a ghost?
She's not. He used me to power that device. He opened up some kind of air.
After defeating Lady Comstock, the Lutesses suddenly appear and hint to you that there's some truths that need to be uncovered in order to understand Lady Comstock.
But what is she? Alive or dead?
Why do you ask what?
When the delicious question is when.
The only difference between past and present
Is semantics.
lives, lived, will live.
Dies, died, will die.
If we could perceive time as it truly was,
What reason would grammar professors have to get out of bed?
like us all, Lady Comstock exists across time.
She's both alive and dead.
She perceives being both.
She finds this condition disagreeable.
Perception without comprehension.
It's a dangerous combination. Look! Footsteps. She goes to unfinished business.
We have to follow her. Convince her to open the gate to Comstock House.
So Booker and Elizabeth are off to find the three tears that uncover the truth. The three tears basically reveal the full truth about what happened to Lady Comstock. The first shows that Comstock was left sterile after being exposed to the Lutece twins' tear technology, which also caused his mind to deteriorate and twist his sense of reality. The second shows that Lady Comstock eventually figured out Elizabeth wasn't really her daughter. She realized the Lutesses helped Comstock steal the child from another reality and cover it up as a miracle birth. And the third tear confirms that Comstock murdered his wife to keep that secret and blamed Daisy Fitzroy for it to make himself look righteous. Once Elizabeth opens all three, Lady Comstock's spirit finally understands the truth and stops attacking, letting you move on to the Comstock house.
Prophet killed me because you wouldn't keep his secret. Help me. If that's so, then why am I alive? Not in this world. Maybe this is you in another world where you never meet him. Or where I saved him. I don't know. Is that possible? Find out, child. Find out.
Elizabeth was angry at her mother for keeping her locked up inside of the tower her whole life, but after the truth was uncovered, Elizabeth forgave her as it wasn't exactly Lady Comstock's fault for it. Now, there's one more thing I need to mention. The siren wasn't just the Lady Comstock that was deceased at the tomb you visited. That siren was a combination of multiple different Lady Comstocks from other realities that were all angry, confused, betrayed, and murdered in different ways. The siren was all of them combined. Now you made it onto the final stretch of this game. As you're trying to get to the next floating island, Songbird finds you again, and instead of finishing Booker off, it throws Booker into a building and it knocks him out. I know I didn't mention the office scenes in the game throughout this video, but this is the moment that I am mentioning it simply because it's the most important one in the game. As you're reminded about your objective to bring the girl and wipe away the debt, you also notice Elizabeth in the office, as well as the Lutesses. Why it's so important is because it connects everything you know in the game. Simply stated, Booker is in debt, Elizabeth is the girl, and the Lutesses are somewhat involved in it. Now you don't exactly know what the Lutesses have to do with Booker yet, but the truth will come out soon. As I already said, the Lutesses' only real involvement that you know of in this story is that the Lutesses had terror technology that helped Comstock, and that the Lutesses helped Comstock steal Elizabeth from a different reality while she was a baby. Anyways, after that short segment, you're back in reality and Songbird is just about to kill Booker. Before it kills Booker, Elizabeth steps in to save you and asks Songbird to just take her back home. So, it does so.
I'm sorry. I never should have left. I never should have left. Take me back. Take me home. Please.
While crossing the bridge without Elizabeth to get to the next Sky Island, you get a very short flash of white on the screen as suddenly it's snowing, even though it is summer when the game takes place.
Snow. It's July.
Straight ahead, you encounter a terror, but then you realize that Elizabeth is in that terror. At that point, it's confirmed that Elizabeth threw you into a different reality, but you don't know quite what reality you're in yet. Don't worry, shortly ahead, you come across this big statue that says, Our Lady Elizabeth, Godspeed thy judgment. This is the moment that you can safely assume that the reality you're in is a reality that Booker failed to save Elizabeth from Columbia. Pretty much, Elizabeth was Comstock's successor. Elizabeth turned the Comstock House, which was a research lab, into a Comstock Re-Education Center, which is pretty much a creepy mental asylum. If you're wondering where Booker was in that reality after failing, he was locked away in the Comstock House and died there while in captivity. You never see his body, but remember that Booker was just another person in captivity there. This is also a level where they introduce an enemy that we have never seen before, and that enemy is the Boy of Silence. While they are creepy as hell, they are practically not that dangerous. They don't attack you, but instead act more like a security camera and alarm. When they sound off, they alert all nearby enemies to fight you. Their purpose is simply to keep the captives in check. After unlocking the elevator to escape, the game hits you with a jump scare that scared the living shit out of me when I was younger, or the first time that I did this.
Head downstairs and get to Elizabeth now.
After taking the elevator, you hear Elizabeth screaming until you see it's another terror. You encounter the Elizabeth of the current reality that you're in, and she's old and wise now. Elizabeth tells you that in this reality, you failed to save her, Songbird captured her, and she was brainwashed into becoming Comstock's successor, as I previously mentioned. Elizabeth also was used to destroy the world below, which as Comstock always called it, the Sodom below. Comstock believes that the surface is a sinful place full of greed, impurity, and godlessness. Elizabeth was filled with regret and wanted to give Booker a second chance, which led to her sending him through the terror into her reality in order to help him, which simply explains the whole Snow in July and Elizabeth being Comstock's successor thing. Elizabeth gives Booker a piece of paper to give to the other Elizabeth, stating that the Elizabeth of his reality will know how to read it. Are you following? This paper given to Booker is to help solve the problem of Songbird always winning in every reality against Booker and Elizabeth. Elizabeth sends you back to the reality you were in prior, which, just as a reminder, is the same reality where Booker was a martyr for the Vox Populi. When you're back in that reality, you see Elizabeth strapped to a siphon machine and being tortured by some doctors. Comstock and the doctors' plan with Elizabeth was to be able to control her powers and make her obedient to Comstock, thus leading towards a reality that was more or less similar to the one Booker just left. Crazy enough, while the last reality Booker was in only lasted, we'll say, a couple in-game hours at most, the reality where Elizabeth was captured in fast-forwarded only, I believe, 6 months ahead. Which shows that these realities have different concepts of time, if that's the way I could word it. Booker ends up saving Elizabeth, and Elizabeth decides that instead of leaving Columbia right away, she wants to confront Comstock and stop him from causing further damage.
She's given us a way to get past Songbird. We're gonna find an airship and we'll leave Paris, Elizabeth. Remember, you wanted to go
We're not leaving. We are going to find Comstock.
Why?
You saw what he turns me into. I will not allow that.
And so what, you're going to kill him?
This is where you start moralizing, Booker. You forget. I know you.
I'm not going to let you kill him.
Really? Booker? What are you going to do to stop me?
Not a damn thing. Because I'm gonna do it for you.
After making it to Comstock's airship and fighting tons of enemies, you finally confront Comstock in person. Comstock drops a huge bomb on you, similar to the impact of Andrew Ryan's bomb in the first BioShock game.
Tell me, what am I?
Look at you, child. You're
Hey,
a mess.
let go of her.
Elizabeth, everything I've done to keep you safe.
Safe from what?
Seed of the prophet shall sit the throne and drown in flame the mountains of man. But the archangel revealed something else. Beware, prophet. Beware the false shepherd, Booker DeWitt, for he shall be as a wall between her and destiny.
Why?
DeWitt, I'm a fool. I've sent mighty armies to stop you. I've rained fire on you from above. I did all of that to keep you from her, when all I needed was to tell her the truth. Ask him, child. Ask him what happened to your finger. Ask DeWitt.
Let go of me.
Ask him. Ask the false shepherd. Tell her. Tell her, false shepherd. Tell her the truth.
My hand.
Tell her. Tell her about her.
She's your daughter, you son of a bitch! And you abandoned her! Was it worth it? Huh? Did you get what you wanted?
Booker.
Tell me!
Booker.
Tell me!
It is finished.
Nothing is finished!
Booker.
You locked her up for her whole life!
Booker.
You cut off her finger, and you put it on me!
Booker, stop it! You killed him. What did he mean? Huh? You tell me, what did he mean about my finger?
I don't know. Yeah, I just assumed you were born with it. I don't know.
Your nose. It's bleeding.
What? Elizabeth, I swear to you, I have no idea what he was talking about.
You too. You just can't remember it.
No. I'll prove it to you. We'll destroy the siphon. The answer's behind one of your doors. You just have to open it.
Destroy the siphon? It's the entire tower, Booker. How are we gonna do that?
I don't know. But I'll think of something on the way.
As you saw, Comstock attempted to force Elizabeth to ask what happened to her finger. You most likely didn't think about it throughout the game, but this is the point where you start to wonder. The whole thing is that Comstock is now telling you to answer for what happened to her finger as if you knew. Remember, you didn't meet Elizabeth until finding her in the tower. Booker's nose bleeds after saying that he assumed she was born with her finger cut off, which, as we saw multiple times in the game, means that he has a different memory of what happened. Booker knows something about her finger that he can't exactly remember, and Comstock also knew what happened, which is a very strange instance. That mystery will be solved shortly before the game ends though. The Vox Populi find Comstock's ship in order to kill him, but they're too late to kill him themselves. The Vox Populi came in sheer numbers and power to fight, and Elizabeth and Booker wouldn't be able to fight all the Vox Populi, so Elizabeth did her part in thinking for a solution.
Cage, what is that?
Now what?
What is she trying to tell us? Cage, I'm missing something.
They said they knew what was best for us. They said they knew what was coming next. Did you see this coming, old man?
Okay, we gotta get ready. I think they mean to board us.
You ain't gonna place your daughter on the throne. We're gonna place her in our grave.
We have to sing to him!
Elizabeth, stop it!
C-A-G-E! It's not a word, Booker! It's a song! Shh, it's okay. I'm here. Will you help me? I need you to protect me. Will you do it? Will you do this for me? Just this one last thing. Please. Go! Booker, he'll help us. We can use him against the Vox fleet.
So now you get to defend the airship against all of the Vox Populi with Songbird assisting, since the song played makes Songbird friendly. After fighting all the Vox Populi, Elizabeth and Booker finish destroying the tower with the siphon in it. This part of the game is really cool and sad at the same time.
Got my finger, Comstock, everything.
Tear it down. Tear it all down.
Whistler! Elizabeth! The bird, Elizabeth! I lost control! He's coming!
No, he isn't.
Where is he? Where is he?
It's okay. It's all right. I'm here. Just let go. There you go.
Elizabeth, I'm sorry.
Elizabeth teleports herself and Booker out of range of the explosion, and what do you know? You teleport into Rapture from the first and second BioShock game. While I'm not 100% sure why Elizabeth chose Rapture out of all places to go to, the biggest factor is finishing off Songbird to make sure that it isn't a problem anymore. Since Songbird is built to fly and not handle the depths of water, Songbird flew all the way down to the bottom of the ocean only to drown and die, which takes care of that problem. As much as Songbird was an enemy throughout the game, you can't help but feel some sort of sadness, knowing that Songbird was loyal and pretty much family to Elizabeth. Songbird technically wasn't a bad machine, but more of a machine that was way too damaging and deadly to keep around. Killing Songbird was a way to tie up loose ends. Interestingly enough, Songbird died way before Rapture's downfall. And now we're at the final moments of the game. Immediately after Songbird's death, Booker leaves Rapture with Elizabeth, and oh my goodness was that one a clusterfuck on the first playthrough. After reaching the surface of the ocean, Booker and Elizabeth end up in this endless sea full of lighthouses, all leading to different versions of reality. Elizabeth explains that every lighthouse represents a different world, a different story, but they all start the same, with a man, a city, and a choice. Whether it's Rapture, Columbia, or something else entirely, it always begins the same way and always ends in tragedy. Booker and Elizabeth go through one of the lighthouse doors and they see another version of themselves. They go through another, and this time they're back at the river where Booker was once offered baptism after the Battle of Wounded Knee. Booker starts getting frustrated, saying that he just wants to go to Paris and be done with this, but Elizabeth insists, not until they find Comstock. Through the next door, they're back in Booker's office where he meets Robert Lutece again. Booker realizes this is where it all started. Robert was the man who hired him to find the girl and wipe away his debt.
Wait, no, this is wrong. What is this? There was no baby. I remember. No, there was no baby, and if there was, I sure as hell wouldn't give it over to this guy.
Booker, you don't leave this room until you do.
DeWitt, time is running short. Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt.
Go ahead.
No.
You can wait as long as you want. Eventually you'll give him what he wants.
How do you know all this?
I can see all the doors, and what's behind all the doors. And behind one of them, I see him.
Comstock. What choice do I have?
The debt's paid. Mr. Comstock washes you of all your sins.
The door slams shut on Booker, and when he opens it, he's suddenly on the rowboat from the beginning of the game. The Luteces are there, and so is Elizabeth. When Booker and Elizabeth get off the rowboat, Elizabeth explains that Comstock isn't dead. He exists across a million worlds, and this will only be over if he never lived at all. Booker opens another lighthouse door and finds himself in an alley, watching the moment he sold his daughter, Anna DeWitt, to Comstock.
Hey, the deal's off, you hear me?
Unstable.
The deal is off!
It's
Give her back!
fine, hurry!
Give her back!
Fine, are you mad?
Give her back, you son of a bitch!
It's ready, go!
No!
Shut down the machine!
No!
Shut it down! Shut down the machine! Now do it!
Give me back my daughter! No! Anna? No. No. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anna, I'm sorry.
That's the moment you realize that Elizabeth is Anna, his daughter from another reality. Booker spends years drowning in guilt until one day the Luteces offer him a chance to wipe away the debt. Remembering everything, Booker tells Elizabeth he needs to end it all, to go back and kill Comstock before he ever existed.
To your credit, you did try to weasel out of the deal.
This is all Comstock's fault. What if I went back? Killed him before he did any of this?
Things get set in motion.
How would one know how far back to go?
That's the only way to do it. Go back to when he was born, and I'll smother this son of a bitch in his crib.
Booker opens another door and finds himself back at the river where the baptism happened. Elizabeth tells him that this isn't the same place and more versions of her appear from other realities. They simply explain that in some worlds Booker refused the baptism, but in others he accepted it and was reborn as Zachary Comstock. When Booker finally admits that he's both Booker and Comstock, the Elizabeths hold him underwater and drown him, ending the cycle before it ever began.
You were born again as a different man. It all has to end, to have never started. Not just in this world, but in all of ours.
Smother him in the crib.
Smother, 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 smother. Before the choice is made. Before you are reborn.
And what name shall you take, my son?
He's Zachary Comstock. He's Booker DeWitt.
No. And both.
And that right there was the end of the story. And let me just say, although the story was super confusing for both my first and second time playing through it, I think I have a grasp on the general idea of it at least. I tried explaining it to you in a way that hopefully you understood, but there's just so much to this story that it's really hard to do so. Let alone the fact that there's still so much that I haven't explained from this game. And I will confess, literally the second after I finished my video for BioShock 2's Minerva's Den DLC, I was legitimately scared to start this one, which was one of the reasons why it took me so long to do this, because I just kept procrastinating. Either way, BioShock Infinite's story is what I would consider to be one of the most brilliant stories I've ever seen in a video game. While there's a big theme about time traveling and alternate realities, this game, from what I understand, is about the guilt, redemption, and the choices that Booker makes. The fact that everything loops back to Booker's one decision to either accept or reject a baptism, and that one choice branches off into an infinite number of worlds, is absolutely insane. The story connects themes from both science and religion in a crazy way that somehow feels very believable. For some people, it might just make you question, could we in reality also have an infinite number of universes that more or less change with different constants and variables? Now, don't get me wrong, this is just some crazy video game writing of a theory, but would it really be impossible for something like this to actually happen? That's always up for debate, but my point here is that the story knocked it out of the park. While everyone glazes BioShock 1's story non-stop, and rightfully so, I think BioShock Infinite's story deserves so much more appreciation. If you like plot twists like what BioShock 1 and BioShock 2's Minerva's Den DLC had, this game will hit you with those plot twists 10 times over. BioShock Infinite doesn't just tell a really good story, but it makes you think long after it's over, like I did when I had to write this damn script. So that'll wrap it up for this video. If you made it to the end and liked this video, don't forget to drop a like or even subscribe or follow depending on the social media for more content like this. I also very much appreciate comments, as it's always awesome to hear your opinions on the video or the game itself. Or if you want me to do a certain game, let me know and I'll absolutely consider it. Alright, that's it. See ya.